Well, actually, it's his 35th.
Fuck off.
Introducing Sonic 3 and Knuckles PP Gaming Edition. Say goodbye to all your toxic games cause you got Sonic 3 and Knuckles PP Gaming Edition. Play on your TV, portably, hell, even your keyboard.
That can go insane, so come at us, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Bakayo.
Get cool, get wild, get funky, cause we got guns in this game! Face off gigantic bosses. Can Sonic save the day? Can Sonic survive? Don't worry, cause you got Sonic 3 and Knuckles PP Gaming Edition. Use skill, power, teamwork, and you can do anything! Except plays Goku, he dies. Sonic 3 and Knuckles PP Gaming Edition, baby! We have a free copy of Morbius on the Nintendo DS too.
It's Morbid time.
After Sonic 2, Sonic was at his absolute peak. His console and games were selling well, everyone praised him for the high-speed fun gameplay, and he even injured a small child and the police. It was obvious that a sequel to Sonic 2 had to be made, so Yuji Naka this time worked with the Japanese side of SDI to begin work on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. During development, there was another internal company competition to design a new rival character to Sonic. Takase Yuda would end up winning the contest, making Knuckles the Echidna.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles, unlike Sonic I don't chuckle.
Fucking prick. However, the team at Sega had an immensely difficult process making the game. For starters, they had to deal with cartridge limitations. And even worse, they were working on a strict time limit as McDonald's promoted the game early on with their Sonic 3 Happy Meal line.
Are you guys in there?
Are you in there? Are you in there, Sonic? Sonic! Are you in?
This in turn meant that the second half of Sonic 3, named Sonic and Knuckles, had to be delayed by 8 months. But why exactly is this video called Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Enter lock-on technology. Combine Sonic 3 and the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge together and you get the full Sonic 3 experience. Moving on, let's take a look at the different box arts for Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. To make this sort, everything I said about the American and Japanese covers still stand up. Both are eye-appealing, have great art, the American one especially has a lot of detail, and the Japanese one still rocks that sick design. Now, what I really want to focus on is the Europe cover.
Keep those oversized hands away from me, cause what the hell?
While writing this, I'm not even kidding, I got stuck here for an entire day because I don't really have any words to say about this. It's just weird and confusing. Knuckles is doing the rock face and Sonic is holding 4 fingers despite it being called Sonic 3. The American cover and the Japanese covers got the right idea, but apparently Europe Sonic is so fucking stupid that he can't even count.
Who are you people? What do you want from me?
You want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
Get out of here, Weaver. Tell them I failed.
You want to die with him? Your choice.
Damn it! Why can't you remember? Reznov's... Did you hear me? He's... Weaver's...
Hey, it's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been exactly 724 days since the day I started making this video from when I'm editing it now. Back then, this series was made to not only express my love for this franchise, but to lead up to the eventual release of Sonic Frontiers. 2 years later, and I'd say it makes for a pretty good companion next to Morbius on the Nintendo DS. Don't you think? In all seriousness, a lot has changed since then. I've done this, which kinda got in the way of trying to make the Sonic 3 video. I've tried to do this, but if I did, I probably would have gotten lynched and deported. I did this, which was really funny, and tried to do this, but was very busy at the time. These were all ideas I had back in 2022. But eventually around 2023, YouTube wasn't really something I wanted to keep making. Not to say I hated making videos, because personally YouTube was a great way for me to share and talk about stuff I loved and enjoyed. But now it's not really something I want to focus on. To be entirely honest, the main reason why I even continued making this video is because it is someone's very, very special birthday today. So I want everyone to type their credit card details in the comment section to wish PP the Derminator, PP underscore the Derminator a very happy birthday. I want to update you all a bit more at the end, but for now, let's pick up where we left off 2 years ago.
Get that yam off your face, nigga. Big yam face.
Why are you yelling, bro? What the fuck are you yelling for, man?
Next are the Sonic and Knuckles covers, and they're all pretty much the same, starting the slick logo design, which in my opinion is some great stuff. Sometimes less is more, and this shows it. I really love how they added lock-on technology to the logo to show how you can connect Sonic 3 and Knuckles together. Honestly, one of the most coldest Sonic covers, and even better, there's once again another inspirational quote for the Japan cover. Let me read it for you all. Sonic races through the green fields. The sun races through a blue sky filled with clouds. The waves of his heart are much like the sun. Sonic runs and rests. The sun rises and rests. Don't give up on the sun. Don't make the sun laugh at you. And don't make the sun explode on you, because I'm going to be entirely honest. As a kid, I've never experienced this game. It was on the Sonic Classic Collection, but I can't remember if I ever played Sonic 3 and Knuckles on it. Until around 2021, when I decided to play all the classic Sonic games, the final game I had to complete was Sonic 3 and Knuckles. However, I didn't play the full combined experience. Instead, I played Sonic 3 by itself. And during my first playthrough, the game didn't really click with me. People say this was the best classic Sonic game, and even the best Sonic game of all time. But at the time, I thought the levels felt way too long and even frustrating at points, and I hated Marble Garden Zone. So I ended up quitting the game after Carnival Night. However, I knew I had to finish the game, so instead of playing Sonic 3 by itself, I decided to give Sonic 3 and Knuckles a shot. And I'm gonna give my opinion on it later, but it's probably very obvious in what I think about the game. Surprisingly, for a 16-bit Genesis game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles has an actual plot, so let's get into it. After the events of Sonic 2, the Death Egg crashes into Angel Island. Robotnik then meets up with Knuckles, but manages to fool him into thinking Sonic and Tails are the bad guys. Sonic and Tails then take a visit to Angel Island to investigate what's going on, but with a single punch, Knuckles steals all of their Chaos Emeralds. However, later on when Sonic and Knuckles clash once again in Hidden Palace Zone, it turns out that Robotnik was using Knuckles to use the Master Emerald to power up the Death Egg once again. So Sonic, with the help of Knuckles, gets to Robotnik using the power of the Chaos Emeralds or Super Emeralds, and ultimately stops the Doctor's plan, bringing peace back to Angel Island. The story is somewhat the same with Tails, however, Knuckles gets a unique storyline exclusive to him. Right after the events of Sonic's story, one of Robotnik's robots, the Egg Robo, takes revenge on Knuckles. So, as Angel Island's protector, Knuckles attempts to stop the Egg Robo, but near to the end, Mecha Sonic, after being defeated by Sonic and Tails, comes back, kills the Egg Robo, and harnesses the power of the Master Emerald, serving as the final boss to Knuckles' story. For a simple game, the story is quite well put together. What I didn't mention is that every stage in the game flows perfectly together, adding a small little transition in between acts and zones, which honestly adds a lot of charm to the game. Now on with the review. You may have noticed that I pretty much breezed through this review so far. Well, it's honestly because there is a lot to unpack about this game that I might not be able to cover everything, but I'll still try to do it justice. Sonic 3 has 6 new zones while Sonic & Knuckles has 8. These are Angel Island, Hydro City, Marble Garden, Carnival Night, Ice Cap, Launch Base, Mushroom Hill, Flying Battery, Sandopolis, Lava Reef, Hidden Palace, Sky Sanctuary, Death Egg, and Doomsday. Upon booting up the game, instead of immediately going into the first level, you'll be greeted with a file select menu, which is incredibly useful, especially that Sonic 3 and Knuckles compared to the previous Sonic games is his biggest adventure yet. With 8 save slots, the ability to choose any zone you want after you complete the game, and a pretty good UI showing how many Chaos or Super Emeralds you've collected, the character you chose, and how many lives or continues you have. Not to mention, the song playing is also my outro music remixed by T-Lubs, the same person who made the Sonic Mania soundtrack. I'm sure countless people are absolutely ecstatic over this information, so let's just jump into Angel Island. The first zone of the game, and I would honestly say it does a perfect job in introducing the player to what a Sonic is. See, that's Sonic, and there's Yellow Sonic with a birth defect. Sonic controls the same as ever, however he has a new move called the Insta Shield. Jump twice and a small shield forms around Sonic. It can block enemy projectiles and widen your hitbox to attack enemies and bosses. Tails now can actually fly. Double jumping will result in him flying. He can also pick up Sonic. New to the series is Knuckles with a very different moveset. Compared to Sonic and Tails, he's the slowest but makes up for it with his movement. Knuckles can glide freely and even climb on walls. Of course, there's your usual Sonic tropes like teaching the player Sonic's physics, your loop-de-loops, but Angel Island perfectly teaches the player 3 major things: the setting, exploration, and power-ups. By the first 20 seconds of the game, you learn that these guys are friends, one of them goes Super Saiyan, this guy's evil, and the goal is to collect your stuff back. But how do you exactly collect the Chaos Emeralds? Well, through exploration, of course. Look hard enough and you could find yourself a special stage found scattered across an act. Honestly, these special stages are some of the best from the series. Up to this point, Sonic's special stages have been inconsistent in terms of quality. So finally having a special stage that doesn't look like an acid trip or play like ass is a complete godsend in my book. It's fun, fast-paced, takes genuine skill to complete, and if you're a completionist, you can even try to get it perfect and get all the rings in a stage, which is always fun to do. Completing a special stage results in you getting a Chaos Emerald or Super Emerald if you collect all the 7 Chaos Emeralds before Mushroom Hill. But let's not forget about one of the best additions to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that being the Elemental Shields. Consisting of the Fire Shield, nullifying fire attacks and allowing Sonic to do a mid-air dash, the Bubble Shield, which makes drowning obsolete and can make Sonic perform a bounce, and my favorite, the Electric Shield, which protects you from electric attacks and also allows Sonic to do a double jump and attract nearby rings. All these shields are super fun to play with, allowing multiple different styles of play. Each one feels important and useful, giving more depth to Sonic's gameplay. And everything I've explained still carries out perfectly in the following stages. Each stage has stage transitions, showing you what's exactly happening without any words. Each stage has elemental shields, even complementing the stage's level design like Hydro City and Lava Reef. And the exploration is on point, which leads on to my next point, the level design. The best aspect of this game. Almost all the stages in this game are just so much fun to blast through. It feels like everything good about the previous Sonic games into one package. You have the platforming of Sonic 1, the speed of Sonic 2, and the exploration of Sonic CD without any of the cons the other games had. all stages feel so unique and fresh from not only one another but to the previous games that came before it. Angel Island is a gorgeous jungle set in a floating island that catches fire halfway through. Hydrocity is an underwater city palace that actually makes water levels fun. There is just so much variety here. In each act there is always something new to keep the player invested and learn more new things. Just to show you how well made this game is, let's go over all the zones. After Angel Island comes Hydro City Zone. Finally, a water level that stays consistently fast paced. This zone is easily a fan favorite among people and it's not so hard to see why. It rarely slows down, you'll likely never drown, and its set pieces are just so much fun to plow through. Marble Garden, an ancient civilization with a key focus of using top spinners to get around with a lot of hidden secrets. Seriously, you can find tons of giant rings around here. Carnival Night, the casino themed stage in this game with quite possibly the most ideas and gimmicks put into this stage. I really praise it in the rest of this game with really going all out with the creativity. Ice Cap, not only the best zone in this game but one of my favorite levels in any Sonic game and the best in the Genesis trilogy. Whenever I come back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I always love replaying this stage. It has everything a Sonic stage should have. Different branching pathways that take skillful platforming, high speed, and of course fun gimmicks and set pieces. From the snowboard set piece, the great level design, and the gorgeous scenery, Ice Cap is the absolute peak of 2D classic Sonic. Launch Base, the conclusion to Sonic 3. Though it doesn't feel like a final level, it still has that Sonic 3 love put into it. The intro level to Sonic and Knuckles, Mushroom Hill. A lively, colorful forest that too like Marble Garden is filled with giant rings and deep secrets. Flying Battery, another amazing S-tier zone. The best level in Sonic and Knuckles. Even better than Sky Sanctuary. It has a great setting being set in one of Robotnik's giant warships, with high amounts of danger but chaotic fun too. Sandopolis. Many people don't like this zone but I think it's fine. However, I do think it is an example of Sonic 3's only flaw, that being its pacing. When playing through Sonic 2, I can always blast through the game in one sitting. However, for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, sometimes I feel like the levels can be too long, like this stage for example. Not to say every stage is like this, but this and Carnival Night comes to mind. Lava Reef, the fire stage of the game. I'm reading the script I made 2 years ago, and I just wanted to say, this script is so fucking ass. Hidden Palace, not much of a stage, but more of a cutscene with a boss. Sky Sanctuary, love how the zone looks. The atmosphere really makes it feel like you're at the end of your journey. Though a bit overrated, I still like this zone. Death Egg. Finally, the Death Egg is a playable stage, and unlike the previous games, the last stage isn't a massive difficulty spike. Instead, it has a fun gimmick with the anti-gravity and complements the Thunder Seal's gameplay. Lastly is Doomsday Zone, but before talking about that, let's take a look at the bosses in this game. A vast improvement from the other games. Sonic 3 and Knuckles this time has a boss for each act. The first act has a mini-boss being one of Robotnik's creation, while the second act is Robotnik himself. And I have to say, some of these bosses are great. One fatal problem with classic Sonic bosses is that most can just be powered through by it just being easy or through invincibility frames. But with this game, bosses take a more unique approach. There's more than just hitting a boss multiple times, now there's genuine strategy. For example, the first boss of the game acts like your normal Sonic boss fight. However, if you decide to use the Flame Shield, it becomes a cakewalk, teaching you that the Fire Sword is useful against fire attacks. Some of my favorite bosses in this game have to be free of the final boss fights. Big Arms, Giant Eggman Robo, and the final weapon. All of them nail this climactic feeling. Despite being a 16-bit Sonic game, these bosses to this day still feel impactful. Plus, Doomsday Zone brought the trend of using Super Sonic for final boss fights. Seriously, they really did a great job with these bosses. Not all of them are perfect or great, but for the most part, it's a great improvement. And the main thing that made Doomsday Zone so important are the Chaos Emeralds. You got Super Sonic, Super Knuckles, but no Super Tails. Well, for the original release. However, new to the franchise are the Super Emeralds. You can unlock them after you have done with the first half of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. When entering the giant rings, you'll be sent to Hidden Palace Zone where you can pick any one of the 7 special stages. And during your first time, they are very difficult. Before playing Sonic 3, I did not like blue spheres at all. Most times I often skipped it in Mania. So playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles and trying to get all the Super Emeralds was a huge pain in the ass. But what you get in return is truly worth it. Hypersonic, causing all kids in the 90s to have epileptic seizures. Hyper Tails, with his flicking army of death. And breast cancer awareness Knuckles! The Hyper forms as a whole are more souped up versions of the Super forms. For Sonic, he can now perform a mid-air dash in any direction, killing any Batnik on screen. Hyper Tails has 4 flickies that he can use to home into any enemy. And Hyper Knuckles, when colliding into a wall, can cause a shockwave attack, killing all Batniks on screen. I always love getting these hyper forms each time I unlock them. It always feels satisfying to unleash it upon enemies. It really sucks that we no longer see them in the series anymore. Honestly, it added more fun replay value to these great games, and hopefully one day Sega can bring back the Super Emeralds. But to leave this review off in a good note, let's bring up the soundtrack. The best so far. There's so many good tracks. Everything I said in my Sonic 2 review about the music still applies here. It's catchy, fits the level theme, and it still holds up today extremely well. Some of my favorites are Ice Cap Zone, which, fun fact, Michael Jackson actually made. He took part in creating some of the songs in Sonic 3, namely Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Space. However, he wasn't credited because, well, you know, allegations. Sky Sanctuary, Flying Battery, and Doomsday are also great. They all nail that climactic feeling, but my favorite has to be Big Arms. The Generations remake of it is one of my favorite Sonic songs. I might just play a bit of it here.
Try not to headbang challenge, level expert. Let's see how you do.
Bath with my kids. I'm naked with my kids. I have sex in front of my kids.
Sonic 3 Knuckles is truly a 2D 16-bit masterpiece. What they managed to do with this game is remarkable. Some may say Sonic 2 is better or even CD, but in my eyes, this is the definitive Genesis Sonic experience. Each time I come back to this game, it's always a blast 100%ing it, and I find myself replaying it again with another character. I do recommend playing Sonic 2 first since I think it's more beginner friendly, but for sure check out this game afterwards if you plan on playing some other Sonic games. Out of the many I've played, this is my 3rd most favorite Sonic game. If I had to recommend a version, try out Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. It's a free fan-made remaster of Sonic 3 and Knuckles that has all the perks of the Christian Whitehead ports, like adding 4K 60 FPS. Yes, I know this isn't 4K 60 FPS, this is my Mac trying to record a 16-bit game. But this version is some great stuff. You can even download mods on it. So when rounding everything up, in my eyes, this game is a definitive S tier. So that's the end. I just want to give a very deep apology, especially to Dermot if you're watching this video. I am so sorry. I was supposed to publish this video a week ago, but my timing was just so dog shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I mostly spent my time watching the new Mr. Beast video.
Mr. Beast donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Big Black Monkey Boy, Big Mr. Beast!
So that's like 2 whole fucking times this video has been delayed for. In all seriousness, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. These videos are kinda cringy, so I'm glad you guys only find me a tiny bit insufferable. Usually I end these videos with a sneak peek for the next video, but honestly, I'm not too sure if I really want to continue making these. Like I said before, Sonic Frontiers is already out. The literal series I was making is called The Road to Sonic Frontiers. That road is already fucking there, and with that, DLC too. But just in case I never make another Sonic review again. Overrated but fun. Underrated and fun. Only played through the first level. Complete horseshit. A flawed masterpiece. The first mainline 3D entry I've ever played. I love it. A love letter to the entire series. The most forgettable Sonic game. My 5th favorite game of all time. The definition of stale bread. Brainless. Honestly, it deserves a video of its own. Great. Love the Sonin inspiration. The most disappointing 7 out of 10 I have ever played. And that's it. All my thoughts on the mainline Sonic games summed up. I really don't know what the future of this channel will be. For now, I kinda just wanna focus on trying to learn art. For a long time, I never really took the time to actually get good at it. Trust me, if you've watched this channel, you know. But just know that if I ever come back, it's most likely because— Oh my god, I don't fucking care!